What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dudes Who Bet Daily. Papa Dude and I going to take the ship again. Like Mr. Somich still sleeping out there in Vegas. And like I've always said with Magic, you just never know. Papa Dude, are you ready?
We're ready. We're just a little bit late, right?
We are a little late. We've been gossiping off
Had a little gossip there that we cannot talk about, but I sprang it on Aaron here right at the beginning of the show, and he's going to do some investigating. And anyway, that's that.
Follow our OnlyFans account. Maybe you'll find out what the gossip is. It's been a fun morning. It's been a wild morning. Let's get to some games. Let's get this over with. What do you say?
That's a good idea.
Kind of like that. See, maybe if you tune into the Dudes Who Bet Daily show coming up at noon Central Time, we'll talk.
We may have some breaking news. Maybe, I don't know.
Stay stuck to the show. All right, let's go to the NBA, Papa Dude. Let's run through these. Golden State on the road tonight in Memphis. Golden State 2.5-point favorite, total of 235.5. Kick us off. What do you think?
Well, I guess Morant's out, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Is he still in some issues going on there?
I think there's some problems with Morant. They're going to be without him a while, I would say.
I think so. Golly, these guys are just. What is wrong with some of these guys?
Like we said off the air. There's some issues, personal issues with a lot of people. So go ahead, though. Who do you like?
Well, Golden State doesn't play well on the road, and Memphis. I mean, Miranda is a large part of their team, but I took Memphis tonight. I think I just did. I don't like Golden State on the road.
Ron Tang coming in. Greetings. I shouldn't say Ron. Doc Tang coming in. Greetings from the NHC. Kent State is his best bet tonight as Doc Tang, and maybe Somich is with him. Who knows? Yeah, I like Golden State tonight. I think with John Morant out for a while, it ain't looking good for that's not good. So I will go Golden State minus the 2.5. All right, let's go to the Knicks and the Kings here. I wish Somich was here. He loves the Sacramento Kings. We're going to give them a look here. They're 2.5-point favorites tonight at home against the New York Knicks. Boy, the Knicks playing pretty good basketball as well. I thought this was a real tough one. Where are you going?
It is a tough one. I think it might go over 238. The Kings can put some points up. The Knicks are very quietly inching up the standing. I don't know if it's quiet, but they're playing great basketball. They're due to lose a game. This is a tough spot. Sacramento's playing equally as well. And Sacramento is very close to getting into second place in the West with Memphis struggling a little bit. So I'm going to go Sacramento at home tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go Sacramento as well. And by the way, chiming in from the Republic of Ireland. Hello over in Ireland. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, I'm going to go with Sacramento as well in this one. I like him at home. As Rob said, Nick choked the other night. Maybe they bounce back tonight. I don't know. I'm going to go Sacramento here in this spot. All right, let's turn to college basketball now. 3 big ones we'll talk about, and then a best bet for you we'll talk about a little bit later on in the show. North Carolina and Virginia in the ACC tournament tonight. Virginia, a 3-point favorite. I thought this was really interesting. North Carolina, I don't think they need to win to get in, but they're trying to get a better seed. I think this means more for North Carolina than it does for Virginia, but Virginia, a little bit better team. I'm going back and forth here. I'll just kick it to you. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to do the same thing. Here's the deal. Everybody across the board says North Carolina has to win this tournament to get in.
I just don't buy. I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either. They've won 20 games. Mm-hmm. Everyone says the ACC is weak. And if you keep saying that, you start believing it. You know, people start believing. I don't think it's any weaker than it ever is.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk on our show in a little while. Some of the things we use to handicap games.
Yeah.
And I'm more unconventional than most because I don't do analytics or anything like that. But one of the things I do is what you kind of mentioned. Who has to win this game? Mm-hmm. And if it's true that Carolina has to win to get in, they have an incentive. And the game is in North Carolina, and they are tough to beat in this tournament. You go through history, they have been hard to beat in the ACC in these early games. Now, you know, semis, they may get beat. I'm going them tonight simply because they have to win. And Virginia is one of those teams that they don't score very much. And there's some nights they can't score enough to win. So I'm going to go with North Carolina. I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia wins, but I just think North Carolina might win. You might look at the under It could go under that too. It could be a very low scoring game.
Yeah, that total at 129, not a lot of points, but probably
Yeah.
where it should be when you think of Virginia and how they play. I'm going to go with Doc. I'm going to go with Virginia. He likes them, and I'll take him as well here. But I get it. You can go either way here. I will take the Cavaliers in the spot. Rob's going to go UNC, so got some disagreement in the chat here. But
that's why we got this game. I mean, this is a toughie.
Every game I picked, you could definitely go either way on today for sure. And so this Virginia North Carolina game is certainly one of. This was an interesting line, I thought.
Yes.
Kansas is only a 4-point favorite as we go to our next game against West Virginia today. Total sitting at 149. I don't know. The total might be a little high, but
I think so.
Kansas should be favored by more. I'll spoil alert here. I'm going to go Kansas in this spot. Where are you leaning?
I agree with you. West Virginia is playing great. They really are. They're really playing well. Coming into this, they looked good last night. They had to play last night. They've got some momentum going into this. It is kind of a trap game for Kansas, but it's in Kansas City. And you and I have been to Kansas City when Kansas is playing. And I don't know what the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City holds. I'm going to assume right around 20,000. 18,000 plus there will be for Kansas. This is a home game for Kansas. Would you not agree?
Oh, that's why I thought this was just a weird line, because this is Lawrence Jr. basically for Kansas. I can't imagine too many from West Virginia are going to be there tonight. Like you said, it's not like it's Kansas State where you could kind of get a split arena, although it would still be more Kansas. But give me the Jayhawks minus this 4.
Well,
like I said,
the only people that are going to be rooting against Kansas are from some of the other teams, some fans that are up there from some of the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
West Virginia might have 100 people there. I can't imagine they have any more than that. Can you?
Mm-hmm.
So there are other teams up there, fans that have tickets that will go, and they don't want Kansas to win because they don't want to have to play them.
Yeah.
But that place will be rock, chalk, Jayhawk. If they play well, they're going to win by more than 4. I'm with you all the way. Go Kansas. I might take the under. That's a lot of points. A lot of points.
I don't know. I think it is a lot, but we'll see. I mean, both these teams can score if they get on a roll. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to go with the Jayhawks as well. All right. North Carolina State and Clemson. We talked about North Carolina State yesterday on the show. We got that one right. We thought they would beat Virginia Tech. They did. They covered very easily. Now they play Clemson. Are you going to go to the Wolfpack once again, or are you going to go with Clemson?
I'm going to use my theory of which team's a basketball school, and it's North Carolina State. Game's in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Clemson's one of those teams. They're pretty good. And a lot of people think they have to win to get in the tournament, but they're not a clutch team.
Mm-hmm.
Things have to go their way. If they get off to a bad start, I think North Carolina State can beat them pretty bad. I like the Wolfpack a lot in this one. So I'm going to go with the Pack.
I'm with you. I'm going to go with Wolfpack as well. I think they get it done here in this spot. I think they're the better team. I think playing, a game already is going to help them. I'm going to go North Carolina State in the spot to beat Clemson tonight. I agree. Should be a pick 'em. It's interesting. This game is definitely a toss up. They look very similar, these two teams. I think North Carolina State gets it done. I think that extra game actually helps them a lot going into this one. All right, let's go to the ice now. NHL, as we rapid fire through these games. The Golden Knights are on the road tonight, taking on the Lightning. Golden Knights did not play good in Florida a couple of nights ago. Lightning, they got back on track in their last game. They hadn't been good before that. They're minus 170. The total is 6. What do you got in this one?
I never bet against the Lightning in Tampa Bay, so I'm going Tampa tonight. The total, you're better at those than I am. 6, I don't know whether I'd bet under that or not.
That is right on the line. I'm going to stay away from the total here in this one, and I'm going to just go with a side. I am going to take Tampa Bay, the minus 170. That's tough to swallow. You might take a minus a goal and a half. I did not like what I saw from the Golden Knights in Florida, and so I think the Lightning, they kind of got back on track in their last game. Give me Tampa Bay in this spot. I think they're going to show up and play pretty darn well in this spot. All right, this is a big one. I think this could be a preview of the Stanley Cup Finals, maybe. The Edmonton Oilers are playing a little bit better defense. They're getting a little bit better goaltending the last 3 or 4 games. I don't know if you've noticed, they got Matthias Ekholm at the trade deadline to kind of shore up the defense. And Stuart Skinner has been playing very well for Edmonton. However, they have to go on the road tonight to take on the Boston Bruins. The Bruins are minus 170, total sitting there at 6.5. What do you think about this one?
This will be a great game. 2 contrasting styles. You got this clamp down Boston team that just plays consistently every night against the run and gun Edmonton Oilers, who are so much fun to watch with this superstar Connor McDavid. They're just interesting to watch. Great game tonight. I always go with Boston in these games. They just seem, to me, the Bruins are just trying to make a point. They're trying to beat these teams that they think they're going to have to beat in the playoffs. Not that it matters a whole lot, but they're kind of saying, okay, Edmund, come on in here. You're playing well. We're going to kick your ass and slow you down a little bit. And that's what I think they're doing. And I love the way they're playing. I got to go with Boston. It's at home. I can't pick it. I know you did, and I see why. I know why. So, well, tell us, but I think I know.
I'm starting to believe in Edmonton a little bit. I think they made some moves at the deadline that are really going to help them defensively. Are they ready to go into Boston tonight and win? I'm not sure. They played them tough up at Edmonton. Now, Boston did win, and I get it. And if you're picking them, I get it. I'll take the plus money. I'll take a flyer on Edmonton tonight. I think this is going to be a really interesting game. If this total goes over, I like Edmonton. Now, here's the deal about the total of 6.5. It's interesting. Edmonton has went over 42 times this year. That leads the NHL. 42 times their games have been over. So they are definitely an over type of team. Mm-hmm. However, the Boston Bruins are an under type of team.
That's right.
They've only went, let's see, where's that stat? They're the sixth best team at going under in the NHL. It went under the last time these two played. So I think the pace of the game is going to be huge here. I wouldn't touch that line one way or the other as far as the total. Give me Edmonton in an upset tonight.
I like it. The other thing is, too, I bet you when you look at the amount of goals that the Bruins have given up, that's the other thing you got to think about when you're doing the over-under on this total,
Yeah, I mean,
they don't give up any goals.
Exactly, and that's why they're the 7th best team as far as going under in the NHL this season. Yeah. So
I think if Edmonton's going to win, don't you think they're going to have to score 4 goals probably?
Yeah, I think it's going to have to go over.
Yeah.
If anybody's capable of going into Boston and scoring 4 goals, it's Edmonton.
It's them, no doubt.
42 of their games have went over.
That's unbelievable.
And that is 3 better than the next best team. We'll kind of talk about some of those stats here in a second when we get to my best bet. All right, let's go to the race of the day, Let's go to horse racing now. Hey, Somich is gone. He's on here. You know what that means? That means we're getting out of Gulfstream. We're going to Oakland.
Thank God.
Well, hey, we did hit the race yesterday at
Gulfstream. I know.
We usually do pretty good
on it. We do pretty good on them, yes.
All right, we're going to go to race 7 at Oakland Park. Allowance optional claiming here, $103,000 purse. Mile and 16th on the dirt. Obviously, it will be sloppy today at Oakland. It is raining. This is for the 3-year-olds. We've got a field of 9. Scratch the number 8, though, so scratch down to a field of 8. I'm going to let you go first this time. Who do you like at Oakland here in the 7th?
Well, I narrowed it down to 3. The 2-horse, the 3-horse, and the 4-horse. Mm-hmm. Anybody any different?
I think those are a good 3.
Okay.
Yep. I think that's exactly who I have narrowed down to.
So we just got to decide. Mm-hmm. The 2-horse Heroic Move has only ran once, broke its maiden 18th of February, so 2 or 3 weeks ago. Natural progression to come up to allowance. So you got to decide, okay, is one race enough for you to pick this horse against a couple of others that have run a little bit more, which leads us to the 3 and the 4. The 3 was coming along nicely, broke its maiden for Steve Asmussen, finished 3rd in allowance, and then they put it way over its head in the Risen Star in New Orleans, and was awful. It was terrible. So now dropping it back down to the allowance. So will that horse get back to where it belongs? Obviously, Asmussen's decided, okay, I screwed up. I shouldn't have put it in the Risen Star. So he's backing it back down. So you got to look at that one. And then coming off a tough race last time out, it's the 4 in judo. Mm-hmm. So you got to decide, is the 2 good enough to beat these 2 horses that have ran in some pretty good races? That's your decision. I'm going to say he is. I'm going to stick with the 2, Brad Cox and Ferrant Giroux. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to think he's going to make the natural progression, and he's going to win this one. So I'm going to go with the 2, and I'll go 2, 3, 4.
All right. Yeah, it is definitely a debate of, okay, this maiden who just has 1 race, can we jump up and beat these horses that have faced tougher but maybe didn't do quite so well? It's interesting. I was with 2, 3, 4 as well. To kind of go through it here, the 2, like I said, nice win on debut. The 3, you mentioned it. The 3 was 3rd in an allowance race 2 back that had determinedly in Tappett's Conquest. So Silver Heist lost to some pretty good horses there. Yes. And of course, Risen Star lost some pretty good horses. Judo, 2 races back, lost at this level against Frosta Departure.
Right.
That horse has come back to be okay as well. And then last time out was in that verifying Gun Pilot 2 Eagles River race. Did no running whatsoever in that one. I'm going to go the 2 because Florent Giroux is aboard. That is the number 1 rider for Brad Cox. So right. I'm going to go 2, 3, 4. And I think we're pretty much the same on this one.
There's not a lot of speed that I can see in this race either. And he may get out on the lead. Mm-hmm. Now, the 1 horse I think has speed. I believe when I was going through it, he has a little bit of speed also. A similar horse to the 2.
So
run once.
Let's talk about the 1 for a second here. This is a Kenny McPeak special. Debuted on the turf.
Yes.
Ran really, really well. Got beat ahead. But the winner was disqualified. So this horse actually, won the race, even though got beat. So got a quote unquote win on the turf at Fairgrounds. And you're thinking, okay, nice turf horse. Horses by Mendelson out of a Galileo mare. That's turf through and through and through and through. Here he is on the dirt next.
Yeah,
this is a Kenny McPeak special. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Sometimes he wins with these screwy horses like this.
That's right.
You're going to get the lead on the slop at Oaklawn. If this horse gets out in front by himself and it's playing to the speed, he might wire this field.
And the way I've done with McPeak, and a lot of people may disagree with me, you want to bet him when the horses have not run very much, because the longer they run, the worse they get.
That's right. Yeah. But for the most part, yeah.
For the most part.
It's true.
Or they'll go along and they'll run 8 terrible races, and then when you give up on them, boom, they win one. So they're not consistent. They don't progress like the great trainers' horses do.
Usually that is the case. He's had a couple for sure, but usually that's the case. Jared's method on McPeak, he's got to be double-digit odds. And we'll see.
I've never seen a trainer get such great horses. I mean, beautiful horses, nice, gorgeous horses, but they don't do much. He's always got great quality horses.
They're definitely hit and miss. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. All right, let's get into the best bets here. We've only got 2 today. No word from Somich. He had a late night last night in Vegas. Better check on him. I don't know. Maybe he's not alive. All right.
Let's go to He didn't check in this morning.
He did not check in. I have heard from him from another group message, so he is alive. But
okay.
We will see. All right, Papa Dude, go ahead. Go your best bet today.
Well, this one jumped off the charts to me tonight. Kansas State and TCU. Now, when you bet the Big 12, you're kind of taking your chances here because this league is so tough. But K-State is in Kansas City tonight, and they're playing TCU, and I think they're better than TCU, and they're underdogs at +2. And we got KU tonight playing. We got K-State playing. The place is going to be rocking. There'll be K-State fans there. I like them a lot in this game. It just jumped off at me that I don't think they should be underdogs. So that's who I'm taking. TCU is a team that doesn't traditionally play real well in this tournament. They're not traditionally a team that can go to Kansas City and win the tournament. That's what I'm trying to say. So I like K-State a lot. I kind of fell off the bandwagon for a while, but they've been playing great again. I just think they win this game. So I like K-State +2 tonight.
K-State +2. I picked K-State as well. I thought it was very interesting that this was this way. But you and Somich had a couple of games where I thought it was mispriced or the line wasn't right, and you guys lost last night. I couldn't believe it. I really thought Wisconsin was a lock. They just didn't show up, and then Somich took Alcorn State, and they didn't show up. So
you just never know. And Aaron mentions here in the chat the Lampkin news. I forgot to mention that. I think he's out.
Yes.
He's a big part of the TCU team, and they've got some issues. So I think State wins.
To me, guys, and if this is not my best bet, but I did pick Kansas State, and I really don't think it's going to be much of a struggle. But you know what? I really liked Alcorn last night with Somich's bet, and they were awful. So that's college basketball when you get in this tournament, or in the tournament, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, best bet tonight for me. I'm going to go with the Homer team, the Blues and the Sharks. Not taking a side. I'm going over 6.5 goals tonight. Somich was on Sharp Money with Patrick and Amal yesterday. He was live from Vegas with them. And Somich made a great point. He said, when you get in these days where there's a million different things to bet, $1 is $1 is $1 is $1. And what he meant by that was stick with what you know, bet with what you're good at. Don't get distracted by the shiny lights. Listen, I'm good at hockey, so I'm sticking with hockey. I know there's a ton of basketball. I'm sticking with the NHL. I'm going Blue Sharks over the 6.5 goals tonight. Here is why. The third most overs for a team, San Jose Sharks. They have 38 over games this season. The fifth most overs for a team, the St. Louis Blues. They have 36 overs this season. These two teams play each other tonight in St. Louis. I think this thing's going over. You need more kind of convincing on this. The last time these two played, it ended 6-3, well over the 6.5 total. The time before these two teams played, it ended up 5-3. So the Blues have got a little bit of scoring now. They've kind of got some veteran forwards to kind of round out this season. The Blues don't have a lot of goaltending. The Sharks don't either. Give me this over 6.5 goals tonight for the Blues and the Sharks. What do you think, Papa Dude?
Love it. I love it. I did notice you did pick the Blues tonight, and I did too, but I don't know why. So,
well, and we see Car Ramrod going to go to the game tonight, have a good time at the game. Hopefully, you didn't pay a lot for your tickets tonight for this one between two of the worst teams in the NHL, but still fun to go watch the Blues play. Yeah, I did pick the Blues because, hey, the Blues they've won once since all this shit went down. It was against the Sharks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's a lock to go over. I don't know who's going to win. I think that's less of a lock, to say the least.
I just can't see these teams playing much defense tonight. I think they're both riding it out.
Yeah, and I think it will be an exciting game if you like to just go watch hockey. So I'm going to go over that 6.5. Car Ramrod, have a great time at the Blues game tonight.
And Mark makes a comment. I agree with Mark a lot. Berrubius lost the locker room. Maybe he has, but to me, that's more a problem with the players, not the coach.
Well, he's lost them for sure. There's no doubt about that.
We'll get rid of them.
I don't know how it's going to go. Free minor league hockey tonight.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
Yeah, that's good. Have a good time, Mr. Ramrod.
Great time.
Okay, well, we're going to get out of here. Now, before we do, I'll pull up the best bets, but before I read them off to you one more time. Okay, here's the schedule for today. We obviously have this show coming up in 34 minutes. We will have Dudes Who Bet Sports. We're going to talk Azeri. We're going to talk another big race at Oakland. We'll talk about the college basketball. And we'll get into a little bit of betting strategy as well. So you don't want to miss that one. That'll be a good one. Coming up here 33 minutes now, Dudes Who Bet Sports. Right after that, at 1:30, comes Blinkers Off. So we're going to have boom, boom, boom. Not a lot of downtime for those three shows. So right there like that. And then Magic Mike, I don't know about that because Somich is in Vegas. I'll report back on when Magic Mike is going to be. So a lot going on. Just stay tuned to us all day long. All right, best bets. Here we go. I'm going to go Blue Sharks over that 6.5 total. The Car Ramrod special. Hope you have fun at the game tonight. Papa Dude's going Kansas State plus the 2. I like that one an awful lot as well. Somich, well, he's still asleep in Vegas. All right, we were 1-2 last night. Like I mentioned, a couple of games that were definitely head scratchers for you guys. I liked your two bets almost better than mine, but minus 120 for the week. We're still up $357. So here we go. We will be back coming up 32 minutes, Dudes Who Bet Sports. Good luck, everybody. If you missed that show, but you're betting tonight, good luck. And we'll see you tomorrow right here for this show.